Absolute, the architect of the universe, might be comfortable, it might be uncomfortable, might be easy, might be difficult. But once one understands it, one finds oneself in the circumstance that it cannot be changed because just the way this is the way it is. It might not be simple, but it becomes easy, or the other way around. It might not be easy, but it becomes simple. Because out of all the choices that they are, the choice has been made. The only choice then for the individual is not to follow. And then the universe, the great big Spirit, God, however you call it then, is going to drag you along anyway. Because that's the purpose of your soul, of your spirit, realizing itself. Just following what the great divine, the great God Absolute, the architect of the universe has dished out for you. What you were asking for in your prayers. And then it's there. And then if you don't want to follow it, if one doesn't want to follow it, one is dragged along. Instead of walking. See, when we're making the choice of walking, goes up and down the hill. It's chilly. It's early morning. Whatever. Still. Isn't it much better to walk along how difficult the unknown of this road is, of this way is, instead of being dragged along through the dust, over the rocks, through the muddy pool, through the water, in a way that one has totally no control over. At least, since we are following it, we have a choice, a little choice within the choice that has been made. We have a little choice to walk on the left side of the road, on the right side of the road, in the middle of the road, or anywhere in between. You have the choice to turn around and walk backwards. We could walk on our hands, on our feet, on our knee. We could roll ourselves up and down the hill. And that still would be better than being dragged along. Even on that kind of planed out with a greater road. Because being dragged along also would mean that whatever greater power than us is dragging us along could drag us in a straight line. Which, if one can fly, or if one is picked up by good God-serving angel, good God-serving archangel, and being flown from A to B is a very easy thing. On the other hand, if one is dragged along by a higher power, which in itself is not limited to any winding and dusty roads, might drag one straight across the rock cliffs, the rock walls, the indentations and canyons, the wet and the dry of the landscape, so to speak. And one might have, rather than experience of making one's own efforts and walking into the unknown as we do right now up the hill, if one is just dragged along by a higher power, it might not be such a gentle way at all. And one might have what could be coined as a sandpapering experience. Just being dragged and rolled through the landscape rather than walking on one's own feet. Yeah, one could argue that archangels and angels always are gentle and careful in handling whatever they are supposed to handle. One also has to look at it from a different vantage point. One has to understand that angels and archangels, even though being very far advanced ahead of what human being would call a learning curve, in relation to what a human being has to learn, angels and archangels are still on a learning curve. And if you are happening to be the first individual that is being handpicked by an angel or an archangel to be brought into an evolved state of existence, and that angel or archangel doesn't have the necessary forte in soft handling your very special princess on the P case, so to say, you might get damaged. So, and you might die. In this case, the archangel or the angel has learned something, and maybe you too, if you remembered, if you were present while all that happened. And if not, well, you know, it might be another round around.